There are moments in life when everything feels hollow. The things that used to excite you no longer bring joy. Dreams feel distant. Goals seem meaningless. You wake up and ask yourself, why even try? But what if this feeling isn't a sign that something's wrong? What if it's an invitation, a quiet calling to look deeper, not outward, but inward? The Buddha once said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. When the outer world loses its color, perhaps it's the soul asking us to pause and listen. In this video, we'll explore how to stay motivated even when life feels empty. Not by forcing yourself to stay positive, but by reconnecting to a deeper source of strength, one rooted in presence, acceptance, and small, steady steps. Let's begin. When life feels meaningless, our instinct is to resist it. We think, something's wrong, I shouldn't feel this way. But Buddhist wisdom teaches everything is empty, and that's not a bad thing. Emptiness is space, it's potential. It's the place where ego dissolves and clarity begins. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of this feeling? Try asking, what is this emptiness here to teach me? Let yourself sit with it, breathe into it. Sometimes the motivation we're looking for doesn't come from doing more, but from simply being with what is. When your world feels directionless, don't look for a grand mission. Look for the smallest next step. There's an old story of a monk who swept the temple courtyard every morning, even when no one was watching. When asked why, he said, I sweep to sweep. Not for praise, not for perfection, just to be here. Sometimes our motivation is reborn through simple acts: washing a dish, watering a plant, helping a stranger, cleaning your space, being kind even when it's hard. Meaning isn't always found in big plans. Often it's rediscovered in quiet service and gentle attention to the moment you're in. One of the greatest sources of suffering is the belief that we must always feel inspired, that we must be driven, excited, passionate. But the truth is, motivation doesn't always come from emotion. It comes from commitment, from showing up even when you don't feel like it. Buddhist teaching reminds us, attachment is the root of suffering. If you're attached to the idea that life should always feel meaningful, then the moment you feel lost, you'll think you failed. But you haven't failed. You're simply human, and part of being human is moving through seasons, some full of light, some full of fog. You don't have to feel good to move forward. You just have to move gently, one breath at a time. We often wait for the right feeling before we act. We say, I'll write when I'm inspired. I'll move when I'm motivated. But Buddhist wisdom teaches non-attachment to outcomes. You have the right to work, but not to the fruit of your work. Don't wait to feel good. Choose one small action and do it daily. That might be writing for 5 minutes, sitting in silence, going for a short walk, making your bed. Let the ritual itself become the reward. Over time, these small practices rebuild trust, and trust becomes the foundation for steady motivation, the kind that survives storms. When life feels meaningless, it can feel like you're the only one, but you're not. Even monks, seekers, and spiritual teachers have walked through the same fog. Periods of doubt, exhaustion, emptiness. The lotus, one of Buddhism's most sacred symbols, grows in muddy water. Not clear, perfect ponds. Mud is part of the process. Your current struggle is not the end. It's just part of your story. And sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is simply keep going. So if you're feeling lost today, don't rush to fix it. Don't bury it with noise. Instead, slow down, breathe, return to the smallest act of purpose, and let that be enough for now, because meaning isn't something you find once and keep forever. It's something you create piece by piece, moment by moment, with compassion, with courage, with care. And remember, you're not alone. We're walking this path together. If this message brought you even a little peace, consider subscribing and take one step closer to the quiet strength already within you.